All right, welcome to stage 2 for the Physio to Entrepreneur Pitch Challenge. And in this presentation, I'm excited to share with you the 5 steps guide to help you create your business pitch. Okay, before I do that, I would like to share with you about my own journey and a personal story that shaped my desire to build something greater than myself. I didn't start out as an entrepreneur. I began as a personal trainer, like many of you, a service provider, simply wanting to help more people move better and live healthier lives. But my desire to build a business and scale my impact was ignited after a personal experience with a close friend of mine named Achian. So this is Achian, the person on the right. At that time, we were both freelancers and would often hang out to talk about life. Over time, those conversations grew into a meaningful friendship. And what I admired most about Achem was his commitment to his family. He always put them first, and that left a deep impact on me, right? Achem was struggling at that time with obesity and diabetes. He often asked me how he could get fitter. So I brought him to a gym and showed him around, showed him some exercises as well. At that time, I was a personal trainer. So I encouraged him to keep it up at the gym. But he followed through for a while, but like many of us, life got busy and those habits just faded. So then one day, it was very sad. I got a call from his brother, and his brother said that Achin had suffered a stroke and needed brain surgery. And as you can see over here, his picture. When I went to see him, I found that he was paralyzed from neck downwards. He couldn't eat, couldn't speak. He went from obese to underweight in just a few months' time. And the only way he could show he recognized me was by squeezing my hand. Now, his brother would ask me to hold his hand, and his brother would ask him if you still remember Justin. And if you remember him, squeeze his hand, and squeeze Justin's hand, and he would squeeze my hand. And I could barely last 10 seconds in the room. I had to come out from that room. It was just too heartbreaking seeing him that way. His brother told me many friends just felt the same way as well, right? And he also shared that sometimes Achem would look at a photo of his family member on the wall and his family picture on the wall, and tears would roll down his face because he could no longer support them. Instead, they are the ones taking care of him now. So after 2 years of suffering, Achem passed away, and at the age of 40, okay? And that experience opens up my eyes to a deeper problem in our society, which is the problem is the lack of awareness and access to wellness has caused grief and pain in many households, just like Achian's. And I wanted to solve this problem at a bigger scale, but I couldn't do this alone. I knew that me myself, I couldn't achieve such a scale. So I made a decision to gather a passionate team with different strength and expertise to take on this mission together. As you can see over here in these 2 pictures is our leadership team at Move Private Fitness. And thanks to them, we have managed to build multiple branches and cross borders as well. And yeah, we are able to touch a lot of lives, making them move better. Our slogan is move well, live more, allowing them to move better and also living more. So this was our 2024 company retreat, and these were the trainers and the leadership team coming together, right? And over every year, we have more and more team members coming to join us on this mission together. Now, this story brings us to the first step in building your pitch, which is having a purpose, right? And when you have a purpose and when you have a strong mission, people will come and join you on this mission because they see the fulfillment, the impact that everyone can create together. Okay. And here is step 1, your purpose. Okay. And now in your pitch, you can include this. Okay. And building a business is rewarding, but it's not easy, right? There will be hard days, and what gets you through them is your why. So in your pitch, you could tell a story that others can relate to, right? Let us know what inspired you, what made you enter the physio industry, what keeps you going in the physio industry, Was there a moment or experience that sparked your passion to help others? Your story doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be real. All right. Because your why is what connects people to your vision. And more importantly, a reminder for you to keep going and solving meaningful problems. All right. Remember this key. Okay. People don't just buy into ideas, they buy into the people behind them. And you um, are the people behind the business. Okay. Your business idea. Right. And we would love to know you a little bit more. Okay, so therefore, try to put in your pitch the purpose, okay, of you wanting to come out of the business pitch and also you wanting to be in the physio industry. Now, step two is problem and pain. So, what are the problems you can identify in the physio industry? Maybe it's difficult in retaining good physios in the company, right? Physios come and go, right? And that is itself is a big problem to solve already. Or a lack of branding or support and support for solo physiotherapists. All right. So or a gap in patient care or recovery system. Or maybe the traditional physio environment feels more like a place for sick people than a place for healing and growth. Perhaps there's an untapped potential in serving a specific niche or client group better. Take some time to reflect on the common complaints and pinpoint you have noticed so far in the physio industry. Now, because this is very important, a well-defined problem is a problem half solved. So if you can put it down into a sentence or even a paragraph, you can really come up with the right solution, okay, with a clear solution towards this problem. But first step is to come up with a to identify the problem clearly and the pain clearly as well. Okay, so next is promise. Okay, so promise is basically your offer. Now let's transition from, if you have already stated the problem, let's transition from there to how can you solve this problem. Okay, what promise are you giving to the public to be able to solve this problem? Okay, and what potential solutions can you offer? What's your approach to the problem? Is it a structured program, a kind of new clinic? Perhaps your problem is that senior care is not easily accessible, right? This is the problem, right? A very specific problem. So perhaps a new kind of clinic targeted for senior citizens, right, is the promise, right? And giving them a good experience. And yeah, this is an offer that you can offer them. Or perhaps a subscription model that allows clients to come consistently. An online platform, okay? Yeah, so how will you deliver the solution? And more importantly, what experience do you want your audience to have? This is your opportunity to get creative and design something meaningful, bridging the problem to solution gap. Okay, so that's step three. Now, step four is prospect. Okay, so targeting everyone is targeting no one. Now, in business, we have this concept, okay, this quote, targeting everyone is targeting no one. Well, there's a well-known story about Steve Jobs sitting in a marketing meeting. During a pitch where a team member was presenting a marketing campaign to appeal to everyone, Jobs was quietly begin to take a paper and tear it up into pieces and rolling it into small paper balls. And when the pitch ended, he took all those small paper balls and he threw those little paper balls at the presenter, and none of them were caught. Then he took another paper, he wrote a single large ball from one of the sheet and he threw it. This time the presenter caught it. And his point was simple but powerful. When your message is scattered, it doesn't land. But when it's focused, it connects, right? Whether on a marketing point of view or even on an internal training towards team members, it is very important, right? To know who your target audience are, okay? And when you know who you serve, your message become magnetic. Also, the way you structure your solution is also very effective. So click clear on your niche because clarity attracts. Okay, and people dealing, perhaps you want to be in the niche of people dealing with chronic back pain. Okay, or perhaps elite athletes recovering from injury. or perhaps senior citizen physio care. Other physiotherapists looking for tools to grow. This is also another target market, right? So whoever is, define it. Because when your message is targeted, it resonates deeply with the people who need it most. And when they see your message, they will then take action, okay, towards it. And therefore, you are able to help more and more people from this step as well. So next is step 5, positioning. Okay, how will you stand out? When we built Move, the private fitness studio I co-founded, we made a clear decision to position ourselves in the premium to value quadrant. Okay, and I'll show you what that means later. Okay, but what it means on the decision making point of view is that we were focusing exclusively on personal training. We decided to not continue with our group class and focus purely on personal training, right? And developing leaders to grow the business. Okay, that is something that we are very strong at. We build a culture that develop leaders, right? And building a strong entrepreneurship culture that allows team members to own shares, okay, own shares of the branches, allowing to have ownership of the company, and creating structured programs and packages tailored to our ideal clients, investing in system and technologies to enhance both experience and efficiency. We also made deliberate choices about what to eliminate, right? Not just what to create and raise, but what to eliminate as well, which is we cut off walk-ins, no group classes, and no large gym equipments or machines as well. And these decisions have helped us to maintain a minimalistic, private yet premium environment that ensured privacy and remove the intimidation towards working out, right? And yeah, so over here in this picture, as you can see, this book called Blue Ocean Strategy. Now, you don't have to read the whole book before coming out of your pitch, but still do recommend you to read it. Okay. And this book is basically talking about being in a position where no one is in it. Okay, so or very few other competitors are in it. So blue ocean versus red ocean. Red ocean is where the sharks are. You have to compete. You have to fight for price war in order to be in the red ocean. But in the blue ocean, you are offering something unique that others don't offer, or perhaps don't offer as well as you do. So over here, you can see there's race. Okay, so what are the things that you want to raise? What are the things that you want to eliminate? What are the things that you want to reduce? And what are the things that you want to create? Okay, so to give you some example, we eliminated group class and walk-ins. Okay, so most gyms, as you can see out there, have walk-ins, have have group classes. They do group classes, they do other things, but we eliminated that and we just focus on raising the standards for personal trainers, right? Creating our technology, making everything smooth, creating automations and so on and so forth. All right, and also reduce a lot of equipments, reduce a lot of machines. Whereas we were creating a lot of programs, the softwares and so on and so forth to support our trainers to be the best that they can be, right? So when defining your positioning, don't just think about what you can add, all right? Ask yourself, what can I eliminate or reduce to make my offering more unique and financially sound as well? Okay, you can use tools like this blue ocean strategy, or you can use this market positioning matrix to identify where you stand apart. Okay, so as you can see over here, we have identified ourselves in a premium to private quadrant. Okay, so this is a two-dimensional quadrant, just private or open on the horizontal line, and then premium or budget at the vertical line. And we identify ourselves as here compared to the other uh, gym operators, or even our direct competitors that in the personal training market. We wanted to be very clear that we are in this space. However, you don't have to just doesn't have to be premium or private. It could be changed to another two words, and it could be even more than two-dimensional, right? But just understand that if you can do two things and do it really well, and if the market has a demand for it, and you can place yourself in the top right corner, then you are in a unique space. Now, just keep in mind that being in the top right corner doesn't mean that you are better. Okay, it's just that you have identified two areas that you want to be the best at. Okay, but other things perhaps you're not as good at. Okay, so look at the market, who else is doing something similar, and then define what makes you different. It could be your brand style, your delivery method, your customer journey, or even your pricing model, or even how you train your trainers to be more friendly, okay, or to serve better. All right, perhaps all these things are some factors that you can put in and place in the market positioning quadrant. Okay, so remember this: positioning is not about being better. All right, it's about being different in a way that truly matters. Okay, so that's our 5-step guide towards your business pitch. And as you can see, it's 5P: purpose, problem, promise, prospect, and positioning. Now, as a bonus, we recommend adding a section on projection. All right. And this helps us get a clearer picture of how you plan to execute your idea. All right. And bring your idea to life. So this will include your financial projection. Okay, so estimated revenue, perhaps you have certain packages, perhaps you charge a subscription model, whatever products or offer or promises that you charges or offer that you charges, you can list them down, and you can perhaps say that, okay, every month I could produce this much of revenue. Okay, just an example. Okay, so then next is expenses. Okay, so your variable expenses, you can list them down, and also your fixed expenses. So now what's the difference? So variable expenses are tied to the revenue. So for example, yeah, it's a percentage of the revenue, and these expenses will go to yeah, to expense in this area. Like for example, it could be a session conduction or a team bonus, and so on and so forth. But the fixed expenses like rental is not tied to revenue. For example, the rental is 5,000. So then it doesn't matter your revenue being high or low, it's still 5,000, right? And here are just some examples that you can list them down. Okay, and yeah, here by the way, this PDF, it will be downloaded, and you can download from the landing page and go through again. Okay, so cost to run the business, example, therapy salary, clinic rent, equipment, utilities, and so on and so forth. Now, profit. So what's left after subtracting expenses from revenue? So profit equals to revenue minus expenses. Okay, so yeah, so you can list them down, and yeah, just have an idea. If you have never done this exercise before, this will be a good opportunity for you to learn. All right, and just research. You can even use ChatGPT. AI can help you as well. Okay, on this. So yeah, next is your growth plans. All right, here we want to see your ambition. Okay, how many clients you aim to serve in the next few years? How many physios do you plan to hire? How many branches do you plan to open? All right. And next would be your team's key milestones or KPI you use to track progress. Okay, perhaps you want a 60% above 60% retention rate, meaning that every single client that comes in for the first session, they will want to buy another program or package that will last them another 3 months, and that would be 60% of the client of the total. So that means out of 10 people that walk into your company, they will continue to renew to buy another package. Okay, so this is one of the KPI, one of the milestones as an example. But you can come up with a few KPIs or milestone that you think that is good for the business, and also is good for the client, good for the stakeholders in general. All right, anyone that has a stake in the business, so stake risk, right? Anyone has risk, whether it's your client, whether it's your team members, whether the founders, the shareholders, the funders, so on and so forth. Okay, so and lastly, a goal, okay, a vision of what your business could look like in 1 or even 3 years time. All right, including this would help us to see your ambition, and also to help us to see wow, okay, this is well being stated out and put down and thought of. Okay, and one thing to don't worry about is that don't worry if your pitch is and your projection is perfect or not. Okay, um, don't worry if it's not perfect and not polished. Okay, you will not be judged on accuracy, but rather on your effort. If we ever get the opportunity to partner with you, our team of business leaders will support you in shaping and refining this area. Okay, this is what we are good at as well. Okay, we will sit down with you, we discuss with you, we will wear the devil advocates had to be able to challenge, okay, how things could work out better, refining so that the company that you have put down on paper could come to reality. Okay, and what matters most is that we hear from you, that you have taken the time to think things through and give it a try. Okay, so that's the 5+1 step guide to creating your pitch: purpose, problem, promise, prospect, positioning, and projection. Okay, and yeah, this video just serves as a guideline. You don't have to present it in the exact sequence, and we have given you yeah, so you don't have to present this in the exact sequence. Okay, and feel free to use your creativity to create your pitch and also yeah, present it. Whether your idea is crystal clear or still a bit rough, that's okay. The point is to start shaping it. Okay, so that's it. Looking forward for your pitch. All right, see you soon. Bye bye.